Hello, it's Melinda from Alexis and Melinda's Art Space. Coming on today or tonight or this morning, whenever you're watching this video. It's tonight for me. It's about 10:30 at night, so it's nice and quiet. So this is Pick a Stick July. Pick a Stick is a 10-step journal process. I really like doing the step journal processes because it gives me somewhere to start and it's a challenge. I'll pop the link to the Facebook group below. So Pick a Stick July, the first step was sponge brush random marks. So this is one of my sponge brushes and I was putting, well, sort of random marks on the page. They're a bit more non-random than random. You can interpret the steps how you like, and they actually come out of a box of about 200 stick prompts of products or techniques or things, and they're drawn at random, and it's a bit of fun. Chelsea and a few other YouTubers started it, I think last year, 2015. So it's been going probably 18 months. I do it quite often. So the next one is use ink. So I've decided to use ink and a couple of stamps that I've taken off the wooden blocks, and now they're just on a bit of cling foam. And I'm just using them without a stamping block, because my art journal is all bumpy. It's easier to do it that way. And that little book there is just my stamp off journal and my wipe off paint journal. Sometimes I use it as a paint palette. You'll see that in more videos coming up when I actually turn it into an art journal, because it's nearly all filled with paint. So the next one, step 3, is hand or machine stitching. Now I don't have a machine to do any stitching. I'm hoping to get one at the end of the year. That'd be so exciting. Hoping Santa will bring Alexis and Alma, because sorry about that, I accidentally clipped the microphone off. Oops, I'll move my finger well away. So I decided to do some faux hand stitching, and here it is, the yawning again. Seriously, I know it's 10:30 at night. It's a very cold night. I'm sitting here with a dressing gown draped over my legs, trying to keep warm. So I decided to do some faux hand stitching with a Sharpie paint pen with the white, just to tone down that navy blue a bit. I didn't really know where I was going with this page, and I just started. And I do that a lot with these 10-step ones. Sometimes I have a focal image in mind, but usually I just start throwing things at the page and see what happens. Quite enjoyed how this one turned out. So step 4 was draw big. So just drawing off that pen. So I cheated a little. Instead of drawing, I decided to use one of my previously hand-drawn images. I have a couple of sketchbooks and I love just drawing in ink, and I love copying things. So this is actually a copy of a stamp by, she does the Delusions, Diane Reevely. I think it's Diane Reevely. So it's a copy and an inspiration from one of her stamps. And this is all done in ink in one of my sketchbooks. So I blew it up to be a bit bigger. So sticking that in. So that's my draw big prompt. Number 5 is... Okay, I did these two out of order, which was a bit silly. Number 5 was game pieces, and 6 was cut from a magazine. So I cut some... It was out of a Snail ad, just said number 5. For no particular reason, just cut that out of a magazine. I did have another image in mind, but it didn't work. So I was going to put the glasses on over the top, and they were the wrong size. Proportionately, they were wrong. So I ended up just using, from the same magazine sheet, an NO and then a 5, and just stuck them in the top left-hand corner. I realised once I did this, I did them out of order, but that's okay. So just fussy cutting the magazines out. So there's the NO, and then there's the number 5. So I hope everyone's doing well today. We're in the middle of a cold snap in Australia at the moment. Actually, we had hail the other night. That was fascinating. We had pea-sized hail. It's very loud in our tin roof. We've got a tin roof on our house. It was very loud. Okay, so the next was game pieces. So I didn't really have any game pieces I could put my hand on very readily, so I went to the internet and printed off some Joker playing cards. This person looked like a Joker. The hair reminded me of is it Joker? The ones that used to entertain the Prince and the Queen. A jester. What started with J? It reminded me of a jester, sort of Joker. The hairdo on the drawing I did, so just putting a bit of ink around, and they're just printed on normal photocopy paper. I tend to print on normal photocopy paper if it's just going in my journal because I don't need it to be on cardstock. So just using a normal glue stick to put those in my book. So I'm working in my altered journal, and I did gesso the page before I started. I should have said that at the start. So I'm trying to work in the last few pages of my altered novel, so then I can put another cover on it and pop it up on the bookshelf as done. So the next step was, step 7 was straight edge. Now you can interpret this any way you like. So I grabbed a gift card and just did some stripy lines around with a big brush pen. So that was my use the edge. You could use it and put journaling on it. You could paint it against it. You could have rolled it through the paint or dragged it through the paint. You could have done or did sort of anything. So next one was print from computer. So I undenied what I wanted to do because I'd already printed something off the computer, the Jester cards. So these were some really old printouts I did a while ago. They're actually of, well, it's got 6D on it, so 6 pence, and there's some sort of punch card ticket. They look like a train ticket or something that I printed off ages and ages ago. So I cut those into several pieces and put them in 2 places. Excuse if you heard a horrible noise. That was my heater decided to want to turn on. Having a bit of heater issues at the moment. It's ridiculous. The heater on the wall thing not working real well. Okay. Number 9 was make texture stamp tool using string to cardboard. Glue. Sorry, can't read my own handwriting. Glue string to cardboard. When I write these steps down, did I do that one out of order too? Hang on a minute. Hold the phone. Thank you for holding. I'm being very silly. I had 3 videos out of order. Oh, God, I'm nuts. So, I didn't realise they were out of order. So, step 9 was make texture tool, glue string to cardboard. So, I wrapped some cardboard around Really? Wrapped some string around some cardboard, and I just attached it with some masking tape at the back because I wanted to use it straight away because I was being oh so lazy this time. So then I rolled out some paint into my Use It Up journal and used it as a stamp and got some really faint lines because the string absorbed most of the paint. But it got it there, and I've got a cool little tool to use next time I want to use it. And it should work better next time because there's already a layer of paint on the string. So that should work really, really well. Okay. So just drying the little bit of paint up. With the 10 steps that come with Pick a Stick, there's also what they are doing this year is called a wild card. And a wild card is an additional 11th step where you can substitute for any step you like. So step 10 was gel medium to create a resist. So here I'm actually combining the wild card and the last step. So I've actually got a triangle stencil, one of the stencils I make and design in my store, and my web plug for my website, it's down below. If that particular stencil's not there, it will be there soon. And putting some gel medium through, you can't see the gel medium because it dries clear and it will create a resist when you put another paint or something over the top of it. So I decided to use triangles, then I decided to use gel medium. But you can substitute this wildcard step for any of the ones. Say, for example, you don't have a particular medium or a particular product for one of the steps, you can substitute it. So just drying off, and I put a thick layer on, so I had to wait for it to dry for a little bit. And then I'm actually going to brush. It was too white. I decided it was too white. But I had to be a bit careful because I do have inkjet prints on here. So the big face and the Joker cards are inkjet prints from an inkjet printer. And if I put too much watery stuff on them, they will bleed. So I decided to give the background, after I put my gel medium triangles on there, a light colour of bluey green watercolour paint. And the theory was, where I put the triangles, it would resist the paint, or the paint wouldn't dry on top of the triangles on the shiny surface, and I would be able to wipe it off. I worked to some extent, but it wasn't really thick enough. It was only a really thin coat. So when I went to wipe it off, I also wiped off some of the colour underneath. But you can you can't really see it in the video. If I hold the book up and tilt it, you'll be able to see the shininess of it because it is quite shiny. And then I decided in a minute that the book needs a border, so I end up doing a watercolour border. So I decided to keep the figure with the hair and the white face stark white, as in the foreground, and then also the coloured tickets are in the foreground, and then everything else is sort of pushed into the background. So trying to create a bit of depth with my art journal page. So they're just adding oh my god, adding a darker border around the edge and drying that with the heat gun. I can't talk tonight. The words are just not wanting to come out. I'm determined to get a couple of these challenges actually done, edited and uploaded in the same month they come out. That's my goal for the rest of the year. So this is July's Pick a Stick. So I did it earlier in July. It's probably about the 17th or 18th now, and it will go up probably sometime next week. So it goes up a few days after I edit it. Oh, can't talk again. So thank you for watching, and just giving that a bit more of a dry. Thank you for watching. Welcome to all my new subbies. Love to have you along. I love all your comments, so feel free to leave me a comment. Feel free to be constructive in your criticism as well. Sometimes I put pages up that aren't my best, just to show you that not everything is perfect. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.